us to discuss topics that affect us, whether personal or political, local or international. It is a platform for us to build from, so the community can grow to be strong. To the host, Raymond Dugue, Michael Duncan, two of our honorary humanitarian. It's real and it not bogus. Stand against those who stand against us when situation rough and get tedious, get tedious, get tedious. Community focus, community focus, community, yo, we have to adjust. Community focus, community focus. Ask the Almighty, Him will guide us. Community focus, community focus. Live up.
Marcus Garvey words come to pass. Marcus Garvey words come to pass. Can't get no food to eat. Can't get no money to spend. Oh, can't get no food to eat. Can't get no money to spend. Oh. Come, little one, oh, let me do what I can for you. And you, hello. Come, little one, come. Oh, let me do what I can for you and you alone. Oh, you know the right hand do it.
Yes, brothers and sisters, greetings. Greetings, a very good evening to each and every one of you. Welcome to the Community Focus program, where the community meets the radio, where the radio speaks to the community. Brothers and sisters, each and every one of us, we have a responsibility. We have to make that difference. Brothers and sisters, as we look all over the world and we look what's happening, we have to wonder to ourselves, where are we coming from? Some people might wonder, we as a people, did we fight enough? Are we fighting enough? Um, Someone said to me that, these situations keep happening to Black people now, this day in time, because we're not fighting back anymore. Um, they believe that people of this world continue to abuse us, continue to do the things that they do because we don't fight back. They claim that other people around the world are fighting back. Is it that we have stopped fighting? Is it that we are afraid of fighting? Um, is it that because we were taught lessons, so we are careful? It is said that other people around the world, they're fighting for their lives. They would rather die than be treated in certain manner. Are we just accepting? Or people continue to do these things because they know the resistance is not there anymore? Just like when they kill one of us, they probably feel that we may march for a few weeks, maybe even a month, but how long are we going to march for? So, brothers and sisters, Frederick Douglass said it best. He said, those who are beaten easiest are beaten most. You look at the world, and the world is not honest, it's not fair. And unfortunately, the strong will always oppress the weak. So if we don't want to be oppressed, beaten, chastised, killed unnecessarily, we have to strive to become strong. And how do we become strong? By organizing ourselves and working together. Brothers and sisters, it's so simple. It's so simple when you have a massive group, a massive government, a massive company, a massive economy, a massive Africa to defend us. Things will change, brothers and sisters. People will perceive us different. People will handle us differently when they know we can defend ourselves. So, brothers and sisters, the world is here and the world is here for all of us. But the world is enjoyed most by those people who organize themselves and not ask for what's due to them, but take. Do you think the slave master is ever going to take his shoes out of our necks? Do you think he's ever going to release us? Nah. If we want him to take his foot out of our necks, out of our throats, we have to force him. We have to force him away. We have to stop him. And if we just continue like this, you think we're going to ask them for freedom and they're going to give freedom to us? Please keep asking for reparation. Brothers and sisters, keep asking for it. Keep begging for it. Man, Brother Raymond, Brother Dugate, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, President General. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clear, brother.
Okay, good, because we're having some issues. First of all, greetings, everyone. Today's Tuesday, October 17, 2023. Welcome to the UNIA Rock Media Community Focused Radio Show with your host, the President General of the UNIA, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, and the co-host is next in line for the President Generalship. That's the first Assistant President General of the UNIA. Greetings, President General. That was an
Greetings.
excellent introduction. So I'm wondering, why do I need to come on? Just continue. I mean, you laid it out. But President General, the oppressor, the evildoer, the genocider, the what do you call that? The interlopers, the ones who have destroyed us, they wouldn't be in that position if they were ever going to be humane. After thousands of years, the data is pretty clear. So, what you're saying is so right on, so dead on. For anybody to think after all these thousands of years, and especially what they've done everywhere, that all of a sudden they're going to be humane, they're going to be filled with humanity, after having known they spent 20 to 40,000 years in the ice, that's not going to happen. So, brothers and sisters, what can happen? No one is coming to our rescue. We're here. The ones who are here, that's who's got to do it. And we need an organization. We need a philosophy. Guess what? There is one. One that's been tried, one that does work. And it just so happens it's the one that we belong to. And it's the one that's leading us. The one that embraces one God. You need that because that's your grounding, your concept of deity, what is right, what is moral, what is right, what is just. That's what you need. And then you only need one. And then you've got to have one aim. And if you do that, you'll get one destiny. And our destiny can only be no place but Africa. And President General, I don't know about you, but Friday I'm leaving for Africa. I hope I run into you, but I'm headed to Nairobi at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. If I see you, I'll say hi. But otherwise, I'm headed to Africa. What about you, sir?
Brothers, sisters, I'm going home. Tell someone to meet me. I'm going home. We're going home to the land of our fathers. And we have to go home. We need to go home and go home and go home and go home again. Home is always waiting for us. It was an honorable day when I first graced my sight, my feet, my eyes on the continent, the nice earth, the good earth.
Well,
And it was great to be
President
connected.
General, when was your first time in Africa and what was the purpose and who were you hanging out with?
That was in 1996.
I didn't even know you existed. Go ahead.
Yes. We went down to South Africa. We met Nelson Mandela.
Really?
We were in Soweto. I even went to a party in Soweto.
Continue.
But it was really amazing and seeing Africa. Of course, much of South Africa was built up. Some of those areas was built up because of who
Right.
and the money they stole from us. But I was able to go to the areas in which our people live and get that true feeling, and it was just amazing being in Africa. And then also to meet one of our African hero, Nelson Mandela.
Hmm. Who else were you hanging out with? I just find it hard to believe you got one day you just woke up and said, "Oh, let me go to South Africa. Let me meet His Excellency President Nelson Mandela." Who else were you hanging out with, sir?
Well, I had traveled with George Weah, the football player at that
Okay.
time, because there's going to be the
Hold on.
African Cup in South
President
Africa.
General, I'm just dying to know the person you were hanging out with. What was his status in life? You know, what I mean, was he just a regular guy or what?
He was a footballer and was classified as the world best player at that time.
Mm,
And it was just graceful for him and for people in South Africa who wanted to see the brother. And Nelson Mandela had coined him God's gift to Africa,
mm.
because there's only one time an African player has won the World Player of the Year. And when George received it, he made sure he dedicated it to Africa, not to Liberia or any one country, but to Africa. And that was a great thing.
Mm. Okay, so Africa's Cup, Mr. Ware is traveling to South Africa. You get an audience with Nelson Mandela. You visit Soweto. What other parts of South Africa did you visit?
Yeah, I was all over Johannesburg.
Mm,
We also went to Durban by the sea. It's a beautiful city. And then again, Brother Raymond, there are so many places in Africa which is just awesome. And all these people, that's why they're there. That's why the Europeans had to come to Africa for many reasons, for many different reasons. Some came there to grow their food because they were growing food in southern Africa, be it South Africa, be it Zimbabwe, and flying their food to Europe. So
but President General, let me get this. You get people, Europeans in Europe, talking Northern Europe. We're talking the Netherlands. We're talking Germany. You know, cross the English Channel, go to England. These people leave their homes. Your home is your home. They travel, into Africa, but deep into South Africa, all of the Southern Africa. We're talking South Africa, Azania. We're talking Namibia. We're talking Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Zambia, all of the southern parts. They're going to leave their home. They're telling us they're superior. Europe is not even a continent. It's part of Western Asia, but they call it a continent because they're running the planet. So get this, they're going to leave their home to go, to these faraway places. And you mean these faraway places have nothing to offer? Have no riches? Have no mineral riches that can go forever? And all the plundering they've done, all those hundreds of years, it's not even 1% that they've taken out. So they're going to leave their home, their beautiful white folks' home, go to Africa, and you're going to tell me there's nothing in Africa. It's the worst place on the planet, that we shouldn't visit it, and it's just only monkeys live there. There's nothing going on, no civilization. Please help me explain that. Help me understand that.
Well, the thing is that he was able to convince us of
Hmm.
that nothing is there, so we shouldn't have any interest in going there. That's why most of us, until recently, would not even think about going to Africa because of how they trained our minds to think. And up until today, some people struggle with the thought of going to Africa. But as we see it, we realize and we know that we must make Africa our guiding star, our stars of destiny, our ancestors' land, our fathers' land.
Hmm.
So, brothers and sisters, everyone knew what was in Africa. When they were coming there the first time, they know why they were coming. They also knew why they prepared themselves and came with cannons and everything because they know that the resistance would be strong. But Africa has everything, everything that we need. Is it the food? As the sun? It has everything we need, the minerals that people crave for, the diamond, the gold, everything. And these people know that. So we're seeing where they came through the front door with slavery 300-400 years ago. But in 1884, 1885, they came back through the back door under different guise as they're coming to invest. Now they're colonizing as if it's any difference from slavery. Just as bad, even worse. But brothers and sisters, we have to wake up. We have this program not just to talk and enjoy listening to ourselves, but to see how we can make a difference, to see how we can make that platform, that base. Any movement, any government, they need a base of supporters, a base that we can stand on, a base that we will use to propel us. And brothers and sisters, each and every one of us, we have a role to play. We just need to step forward and play that role for the liberation of Mother Africa.
President General, uh, Africans, we on the continent, 85% of all of the food that we eat is imported. Please answer this question. Is that because we're lazy? We don't want to do anything for ourselves? We just want to be dependent upon the good white folks who've done so much for us? Please answer that.
Well, there have been so many things to confuse our people, to confuse our economic system. And when we think about the economic system, we also think about the economic hitman. And one of the main purpose of the economic hitman is to ensure that it forces the system to let us stop producing. When you start borrowing from the IMF and when you start owing them, they then start tell you that maybe you shouldn't produce rice anymore. So we will produce the rice and sell it to you so you can get the opportunity to pay us off, to pay us back the money that you owe us. And when they hold you like that, you can't say no because they're in control of your economic system. When we look at Liberia, the monies that Firestone through the US loaned Liberia from the 1990s, 1919 in the early 1920s, Firestone controlled Liberia's economic system until in the 50s, way over 30 something years. Just envision if Garvey and the UNIA had gotten there and built that huge city, things would be different in Liberia now. Not only Liberia, things would be different in Africa. So, Brother Raymond, I'm sure at some point, brothers and sisters were planting rice in Liberia,
What's the
rice
name?
in
What?
Haiti,
No, hold. Before I get to IT, what was Liberia known as?
the rice coast.
Gee, there must be a reason, right?
Yes.
Hmm. Continue.
Haiti, weren't they growing rice in Haiti?
Latibo need
What happened
fed
to that?
only IT, the whole Caribbean.
What happened to that?
Your friends, the U.S. government, insisted to devaluate. There's no need for that. No, you don't need that. You're wasting your time with your farmers. Let us build factories, and we'll pay you off. You'll make tons of money, and then factories will. People will just stop doing this nonsense farming. And he went for it. Can you believe that? And that spells the deathbed. So, but President General, I've got a question for you. Uh, when I first started working at the place that I used to work at, and I was put on many projects. I was like the liaison. There was a consulting company, the biggest, most well-known consulting company. A lot of people got their start through there. A lot of people running government and this and that. And I'm naive. I wasn't even 30 years old, and we meet this and that. I'm the liaison. I have to see what they're doing. They explain to me, and then they make presentations, and then I get to sign off on it. But get this, President General, you know how when you're young and dumb and stupid, you just don't know. I really thought consultants were a necessity, that they actually provided a value. You know what consultants do? It's just a big employment scheme. They've got to convince you need them. That's all that they do. I mean, after a while, I said, wow, this is a good scheme. And people buy into it. Same thing for IMF and World Bank. They have to convince you need it. I mean, that speaks to their power of psychologically leading you to just do things. And it's just amazing. So when you mentioned IMF, I thought of those days. And then another time, all the high executives of that company were all meeting privately, and I'm explaining to them their results. And then one guy says, but what do you expect from consultants? That's all they do. They have to convince you that you need them. You don't necessarily need them. In fact, you don't even know you need them. They come and convince you. So same thing with what so I could relate to how IMF and those companies work. So you get a guy like Thomas Sankara, who rebuilt his country. So then IMF, actually the World Bank came up to him and said, okay, you're going to need us. And his response is, for what? I've done it myself. We're into agriculture. We've got all of the women force working, and we've instituted a countrywide literacy program. What do I need you for? And they were going to get rid of him anyway. But just to let you know, sometimes when you care for your own, you're wondering, what do I need it for? It's like the impulse, to go shopping. Well, think about it. Do I really need it? And if you really, really need it, even find a way to not do it. But anyway, so as you were saying that's what came up on my mind. So, President General, Nairobi or Mombasa, where are you headed to?
Nairobi.
Okay. Carnivore restaurant, eating all the meats you can eat, or eating vegetarian? What are you going to do? And with the meats, they have seafood too. I checked it. My daughter was telling me after I mentioned it on the Zoom call, she went and did research. She said, how do you know about this place? I said, I actually ate there. The food is excellent. And you really need to be in training. Come empty stomach, because there's a lot of food. So
what's the name of the restaurant?
Carnivore.
Okay.
Yeah, and they will give you meat. I'm not kidding you. So my question to you, are you going vegetarian that night or carnivore?
I'll leave the meat eating to the meat lovers.
Uh, and let me add, when we went to the carnivore, we hadn't done any safaris yet. So everybody was still normal. When you see a giraffe standing right next to you, they are the muscles on the giraffe. You have to see it because in where we're going to the giraffe center, they're going to show you specimens of their muscles, of their bones. They're vegetarians. I mean, they're huge. I mean, I still can't get over it. Everybody, except, the cheetah, the lion, the jaguar, all of these, everybody's a vegetarian. And the monkeys, they play both sides. They tell you they're vegetarians, but they don't mind eating some meat. But the hyenas are absolute worst guys. So President General, you plan to pet any lions and cheetahs and jaguars?
Of course, but they're gonna call me the lion tamer.
So they're going to know the President General's in the house.
They better know. They better recognize, brother.
So they're all going to rise and say, "Rise! The President General has entered the safari." Okay. Let me tell you, it's very fascinating, and you get a real appreciation for, and especially they look like elks, like deers, but small deers. I forgot their names. Oh, the dik, and they're like gazelles. They fly like the wind, and whenever the cheetah comes on the scene, they fly. They don't even, it's like I'm not taking chances. These are bad guys, so let me just walk away. But President General, I know you favor lions and lionesses. Why?
It's amazing how they live and the family structure and how it is set up. And even though the lion provides the security for the family, it's amazing how the security works because to have a strong security force, you must have some strong hunters who are providing food for the security force. So the security force can sleep 23 hours a day and
Hmm.
be prepared for that 1 hour that they may be in battle. So we have to look at the lioness. All the lioness wants is to protect her children, to have a lion that can protect her children. Think about it, brothers and sisters. All the black woman want is for the black man to be able to protect her children from this evil system that seeks to incarcerate instead of to educate. This evil system that shoot down our young people day in and day out. What our ladies want, our women want, our wives want, they want protection. They don't want to have to be going to funerals anymore. And that's the same thing that the lioness wants because she knows that if she doesn't have a strong lion, the next lion is coming for her. And to get her, he's going to kill her cubs. So, brothers and sisters, we need our young ones. And we have to organize and put up our defensive, says, put it in a system that can protect our young ones from this evil system that has other plans for them. So I just like the idea of the lion structure and how they live and how they protect each other and be in a family.
Okay, I can explain it, but they're pretty big. They're big, and get this, President General, even the elephant is a vegetarian.
Of course.
I mean, it's amazing. Everybody's a vegetarian, except as I pointed out. Okay, President General, I shared the letter from Rasta Soldier. Did you get a chance to access it?
No, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. Of course. where he's asking us to do certain things in
Yes.
Ethiopia and take some pictures
Yes.
and
So,
so on. So he's just as excited, if not more excited, than us. And we have to bring back that reality to him, for him. And we're looking forward.
President General, I did not know it was 1948 that His Imperial Majesty deeded Shashamani. I thought it was much later.
Yes.
So, my point to you is this. Yesterday, you mentioned we need to thank His Imperial Majesty for giving us that opportunity, for allowing us to go back. So, President General, you know, everybody wants to go back home. Everybody knows when you build your home, it's safe, it's secure. You can go anywhere else. So, President General, what are we still doing here in this North American wilderness?
Because um, the master convinced us that his ice is better than our sun.
It's cold now.
But in this case, he convinced us that our sunshine is not good. And we want to be living in his ice.
Okay. Anyway, October 17, 2023, October 17, 1806, the plotters to assassinate and destroy people power in Haiti, that's when they assassinated Dessalines. And after Pétion killed Dessalines, he forbade ever the name of Dessalines to be mentioned. Can you imagine that? This is evil. And then to show you how much disdain he had for Dessalines, Dessalines' flag was black and red. He takes out the black, he puts it blue. He makes it blue and red, and then he adds in, well, he didn't add in the centerpiece, but later on, Boyer was involved in that. Boyer would follow Pétion when he died. Boyer became the next president, and Boyer was involved in assassinating Dessalines. And what was Dessalines' crime? After the revolution, after they set up a government, he said, well, all of these riches, we have to share it with our people. So mulattoes, that's Gérin, Boyer, Geffra, Pétion, they weren't down with that. No, no, no. You know, since my father had raped this black woman, I'm entitled to some of these riches. I want to keep it. This time he said, then why did we fight? Why did we take off the yoke of oppression of 300 years? I mean, this is not smart. You know, why are we going to do that? And then Pétion also wanted to follow Catholicism. And Dessalines said, why? I mean, we have our own faith, our own religion, our own morality. This is what led us to victory. And we're going to throw all this away? And then after those four mulattoes, they convinced Henri Christophe to be down with it. How do we know Pétion did it? After he sets up his government, he gets up in front of the legislature and he says this in French, J'ai tué le tyran. I killed the tyrant. Really? Dessalines was a tyrant? Dessalines was involved with Toussaint in defeating the Spanish and the British, and he finished off the French. He led you to victory. President General, that was the biggest setback. So a lot of times you will hear historians and other people give Pétion credit, you know, that he provided arms and ships, arms and weapons to Simon Bolivar. Yeah. And then anytime any slave ship was passing by, Africans in Haiti under Pétion and then continued by Boyer were there to defend our people. These guys are nothing but sellouts. And then they killed Dessalines. I mean, it's like killing Garvey. It's like killing Cooks. That's just evil. Anyway, so that was October 17, 1806. And get this, President General, from that time until I was a child in Haiti, this is all how we celebrated Dessalines, his assassination. I mean, this is evil. And it's only nowadays, you know, your friend Baina Bello started it in 1992. She said, hold it, this is the father of the nation. This is our race avenger, the great liberator, the great one. It was Jean Dessalines, Dessalines the Great, and we're celebrating his murder. This is nonsense. And then that became the big push. And then it wasn't until last year that one of our researchers, Brother Dawood, who read everything he could, that's when we determined that Dessalines' birthday is actually July 25th. Up until 2023, I was always celebrating September 20th because that's what Baina Bello had told us. But we've gone through archives. The August 1st, 1805 newspaper that we found, in it, Dessalines thanks the nation for having celebrated his birthday July 25th. So, if the man is going to tell you he's going to thank you for celebrating my anniversary of birth on a certain date, we're going to assume, it's correct. But anyway, October 17, 1806, a day of infamy. And, they just didn't shoot him, bang it. They cut him off. They didn't even give him a burial, President General. So that's it. What can you share? Do you have anything to add on October?
Yeah, we're going to hold it. We're going to take a quick break and come back. Brothers and sisters, keep listening, keep promoting. Dessalines just amazing. And that's why we have to continue talking about our heroes, because they only die when we stop talking about them. That's why Black history is important. African history is a must, and we must unearth the truth and bring it to our people. Brothers and sisters, hold it right there. Community Focus will be right back. Thank you.
My people, shop at The Rock.
The wait is over. What started out as a vision is now reality.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. The Federation of African Caribbean American Restaurant Association is ready. Come and
shop at The Rock.
13205 Merrick Boulevard, inside of Belknap Street.
You need to save money for all your breadfruit, yellow yam, bami, Scotch pepper, plantains, bananas, all your fish and meat product. Come to The Rock. Wholesale price every day.
This is Dubmaster Chris, and I'm endorsing The Rock, the Restaurant Owners Corporation, inside of Belknap Street. Bring your shopping basket and shop till you drop. Save yourself some money and shop at The Rock.
Jamaica Breeze Buffet Restaurant, where it's Thanksgiving every day. Choose from 60 of our best dishes, featuring breakfast all day and a wide selection of Jamaican and Southern style favorites. At Jamaica Breeze, you choose what you want and pay what you want. Don't forget to try our juicy beef and chicken patties. And remember, we also accept Jamaican dollars. Jamaica Breeze now has 2 Queens locations. Our original store at 23202 Merrick Boulevard at the corner of 232nd Street in Laurelton, and our new location at 2136 Mott Avenue at the corner of Redfern Avenue in Far Rockaway. Visit us today and come hungry. You won't be disappointed.
To go back home. This couldn't be my home. It must be somewhere else, or I would kill myself. Cause I can't get no clothes to wear, can't get no food to eat, I can't get a job to get bread. That's why I've got to go back home. If I've got to go, if I've got to stay.
Brothers and sisters, if you're listening to the brother, he's saying that he has to go back home because this couldn't be his home. He said this couldn't be his home. Can't get any food to eat. Can't get any clothes to wear. Can't find a job in this place. Brothers and sisters, too many of our people are having a hard time. Look at the Caribbean states, the unemployment rates are through the roof. Look at the African states, the unemployment rates are up through the roof. Um, Africa needs an intervention. Brothers and sisters, we have to go somewhere where the climate is right for us, the environment is progressive for us, and the challenges, even though undaunted, we can achieve them, brothers and sisters. We can move, we can make this happen, but it's not going to happen for us here. We have been struggling here for far too long. And if we continue, we are just going to continue down this path. Brothers and sisters, you have to see what's possible. You have to see what can be done. You have to see the role that we can play. Brothers and sisters, that's why we're going home. You won't hear from us again until next week, when we're in Kenya and experiencing life in the Garden of Eden. But continue to listen, brothers and sisters. Continue to promote. I must say this platform here we have created it. It's progressing very good. We know we have had some challenges with the buffering and double talking, but you have the regular website to listen. You can listen on that. You can listen on the YouTube. If one is giving you any problem, then use the next one. But brothers and sisters, please remember to take this as your personal job to make this platform here work for us so we can reach out to all our friends and families the world over. I must say now we're having listeners not only in these United States, but we're having listeners in the Caribbean. We have listeners in Jamaica. We have listeners in England. We have listeners in Canada. We have listeners in Liberia, Ghana. We have listeners in Kenya. And I'm sure after the next 2 weeks, we're going to have listeners in Ethiopia. So we want to be able to touch the whole continent. But remember, wherever you are, invite a friend, invite a family, be committed to this program as we build it. Um, as it gets closer to the ending of the year, we're going to have a full program on this platform. And we won't want to remind you that this is our platform. And if you think you can do a program here on here, then come forward. This is what we have this platform here for us, brothers and sisters. If you feel you have something to say, something to sing, something, maybe some music to play, please let us know, Brother Dugue.
Okay, well, I'm tempted to say other things. You said if I'm tempted to play music. So what if I'm a DJ, like DJ Gene or DJ Red Hot? So I should just come on and play my music? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes, of course. And who knows, maybe we could get a DJ from Jamaica. And Brother Jordan, I was speaking to Brother Jordan, and you remember you have that DJ in Africa, the brother Heavy D, who's a DJ in Accra. Maybe we wanna hear some music from Accra.
Okay.
Um, because this is going to be a worldwide platform station. It's the Universal Negro Improvement Association Rock Media. So we're going to have to connect our brothers and sisters the world over, brother.
Okay, okay. Two things, President General. Number one, uh, what are your thoughts on this? All of us may not live to see the higher accomplishments of an African empire, so strong and powerful as to compel the respect of mankind. But we, in our lifetime, can so work and act as to make the dream a possibility within another generation. Your response?
And that's what we're here for. We are just carrying the baton right now. After Garvey, brothers and sisters tried and they tried hard, but the baton was dropped for a little bit and maybe not dropped totally, But we have a situation, Brother Raymond, as we talk about the battle of the ons. That's the situation we experience. Brothers and sisters, when we say the battle of the ons, what we mean is that those who were willing and they were trying as hard as they could, they were giving everything, but even though they were willing, brothers and sisters, they were not able.
Mm.
And that simply mean that because they were willing, they were not able to do the job. But we have a whole lot of us who are listening right now who are able. We're able. We can make a difference, but we're not willing. A lot of us who are able, we just want to stand on the sideline and hope that something happens, wish that something happened,
Hope and pray.
and then at a point you're not going to know what happened. So, brothers and sisters, if you're that person who is able but not willing, just stop and think about it, and just realize that for us to reach the stages that we are in life and the benefits we have gotten, it's because of sacrifices that other brothers and sisters make. So, brothers and sisters, join our ranks. Reach out to the UNIA. Become a member. Help to make our platform for a better tomorrow. Brother Duguay.
President General, we're getting ready to travel to Africa. And listen to what you just said. You said we've got people listening in Kenya, and we know we're going to get people to listen in Ethiopia. So my question to you is, what? You think you're Mr. Garvey, creating divisions everywhere you go? Is that the goal, President General? Are you the international organizer? Please answer that.
Yes, we have to play all those roles. And since we don't have enough people, some of us have to play 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 roles, but we will play those roles until the able come on board. But we are here to do the work that Mr. Garvey left for us to do. It is clear by looking into the black prints that he left for us.
Okay. The second thing I had to share with you is that we actually have, well, we may have more, but we have a listener in Uganda. After the show, he's always texting me, letting me know. But President General, it's 7 hours ahead.
Yes.
Just think about it. It's 3 a.m. when the show starts. So he stays up.
Kenya is 7 hours ahead. Ethiopia is what, 8?
7.
7, just the same.
Hours.
Okay.
Yes. And so President General, he's at 3:00 a.m. He's listening to this. And then he texts me all the time. And in fact, he's going to meet us in Kenya. So he's a farmer, this and that. So President General, I mean, the sky's the limit. But, those who are able, please join the willing. You know what happens when we get the able and the willing? Game's over.
Yes,
we build,
yes.
That's what Mr. Garvey came. He got the willing. He got the willing, he got the able, and that's how he was able to build it. So, brothers and sisters, what we're doing now, traveling to Africa, I mean, a lot of us think this is tourism. It is, but we get a chance to bond with our people. And you get to see the beauty of the continent. President General, let me ask you a question. As beautiful as it is, and yesterday you pointed that out, you reminded us that the Ashkenazi wanted Kenya, northern Kenya, to be their homeland. Not all of Kenya, it's just too big. But President General, just to remind people, everybody knows the beauty of these places.
Yes.
Tanzania, I mean, when we were in the hot air balloon flying over Tanzania, wow. And then we went as low as possible, and you could see the wildebeest just running across. It is such, and get this, President General, the wildebeest, they're vegetarian. Everybody's a vegetarian, except you know who. Okay. Oh, those guys. Anyway, so brothers and sisters, we've got this great opportunity with this platform. It's starting slow, but we know before the end of the year, it's going to blossom. There are going to be so many shows, so many different activities, and we can reach our people. Join the UNIA, invest in the rock. Oh, President General, this I have to share with you. You know, our Minister of Information,
Yes.
and he kept promising me that first PG, don't worry about it. I'm gonna invest. I'm going to invest. And so time is passing by. You ready for this?
Yeah.
He sent it express just so I can get it before I travel. What do you say about that, sir?
Well, our Minister of Information, he's a brother who is willing and able. And we thank the ancestors for sending forth a brother like him who love his people and who love race first. The more I see brothers like him, I know that we're going to have a better tomorrow. And I know when it's my time to stop leading, we have some good brother to take over the realm and lead. So we're not worried anymore because we are making our army with people who are also willing and able.
Speaking of army, President General, this math academy, that's going to be our army. And that's the discipline, the tenacity, sit right, sit upright, stand strong, project your voice, do the analysis, think about it, always thinking. Your thoughts?
No, that's what we need. Plain and simple. And brothers and sisters, those of us who have that special gift of leadership, we need to step to the forefront and lead. But brothers and sisters, a lot of people come on the social media and they speak and they claim that they're leaders. But technically, basically, most of them are just businessmen and women. They're speaking and they're speaking for a living. They're doing it for a living. And whenever you hear some of them speak, and in the process, they're asking you for donation. They're asking you to buy their books. You have to look at these people and you have to ask yourself, do they have a movement behind them? Do they have an organization behind them that they're affiliated with that you can work with and help to build the Black communities? If anyone is speaking to you and they don't have such a movement, it's telling you that they're all about self. So be careful when you decide to look for leadership. We need leadership that knows no price. We need leadership that will stick to a cause only because the cause is right. We need leadership, brothers and sisters, who are honest. But most importantly, we need leadership from the ranks of you and I. So be careful who you call your leader.
If anything, they're misleaders. But
Yes.
President General, let me ask you a question. I've heard you say this a lot of times, where you said you attended so many meetings. You were at Slave Theater in Harlem every chance you got. My question to you is, I know it was a lot of meetings. When and how did you realize, the black print was always there? Why don't we just go and recreate it? Go ahead, please answer.
But see, I grew up and in growing up, I heard about so many people who were speaking here and speaking there, and being a young man who wanted to learn, I tried to attend many forums and see if I could learn. But even in learning, I always have it in my mind that we have to build. I want to see what we can build. I was always interested in how we can group our monies together and just invest it together and build. And I remember reading Marcus Garvey. I remember reading about Carlos Cooks and seeing what they did, and those things inspired me. But most of the meetings I went to between the ages of 17 and 28, you just feel good when you attend these meetings. They prop you up, they say the right thing. But after the meeting, most of them didn't have a plan. Most of them didn't have a program. And at the end of the meeting, they're selling their books, they're selling their CDs. At that point, they were selling their cassettes.
Cassettes. I bought a whole bunch of those, by the way.
Then they start selling their DVDs. So, brothers and sisters, I'm saying to myself, these people are teaching. And it's good to know the theory. There should be a theory for everything. But if the practical is not attached to the theory, then it doesn't make any sense. Because you're coming, you're making a presentation, you're speaking in Queens today. Tomorrow you're speaking in Jersey. The next day you're speaking in Philly. Then you're speaking in DC. And you don't have a movement. One of the strangest thing I heard was that, our sister there, and maybe I shouldn't call her name over the radio, but I was speaking at the Irie FM
Oh, yeah, my friend. In Jamaica. The
program
one
in
who survived his
Jamaica,
birthday.
and after I finished speaking, I really stirred up the crowd and got the crowd ready for her. So she went after me and then she started speaking and she said to the people, you must invest. You must invest in black investment, black ideas. We got to put our money together and we got to put our money together now. And as soon as she said that, about 4 or 5 people ran to the stage with some money to give her. And she said, no, 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 don't give it to me. Don't give it to me. If you're going to be telling people to invest, when they come forward, you should have an outlet for them to say, here's where you can go. This is where you can invest.
No, but President General, after you had already warmed up the crowd, why not say invested in the UNIA? Because this is a program. I don't have a program, but this is a program. Why not say that?
Exactly.
Please answer.
Exactly. But
especially since she's been on our show.
Yes.
So it's not like she didn't know. And I took her to the Rock. She witnesses, though. Everybody knows what's there in the Rock. Okay.
So that's the thing. But a lot of speakers come and they speak. But I mean, even some of these elders that I truly love and respect, I mean, we just have too many people with the theory without a practical behind it. Oh, okay. We theorize about the Rock because it was first a theory. Right, brother?
Oh, yes.
But then what is a theory without practical? When a person wants to be a doctor, they have to go through the classroom, right?
Absolutely.
But then they have to do the clinicals.
You got to do the rotation.
Yes.
You got to do clinicals. You have to.
So you can't just tell black people we know the answer. We know the answer. We don't know. We know the answer, but you're never practicing the answer. You haven't put it to practice. You haven't let it work. Brother Duge, it's that time of the night. So we have to call it. Brothers and sisters, we thank you for being here again. continue to organize, continue to build. Join our ranks, brothers and sisters. Each time one of you join, it makes us one man, one woman stronger. So join us. This is our platform. Help us to build it. We're going to have educational program on this for our children. As a matter of fact, some of our children that we are training in math, at some point, we want to have them on this program here, running a program to inspire our young ones. So the sky's the limit. But this, if you want a great platform, brothers and sisters, we have to build it. And we have to build it together. And these are just the first stages that we're going through. We're going to reach the Black world via this platform. So, brothers and sisters, join our ranks. The next time you hear us, we will be broadcasting from Kenya, then from Ethiopia. So, brothers and sisters, good evening, good evening, good evening. I turn it over to Brother Dugue, our first Assistant President General, to close us out.
President General, I really don't want to end the program tonight, but I guess we have to. I just have to share this with you before we end it. I'm going to show you, even subconsciously, we know what we want. Sometimes we refuse to admit it. Classic case in point. Today I was discussing my connection to the Grenada New Jewel movement and Maurice Bishop. And, I was in the School of Engineering. I know I couldn't go work for these folks. I know that, but I'm fooling myself. And so when the opportunity came to be a part of signing the contract to be a part of Grenada that was 1983. And then so in 1984, I'd be spending the whole summer in Grenada, and then 10 weeks. And then the last 2 weeks, they were going to send me into Cuba. So I was so excited. And then October 26, October 19, that was it, once Maurice Bishop was assassinated. But then a week later, when Reagan invaded and occupied Grenada, small place, by the way, that was the end of that. And I had to that's when it sunk into me, gee, I'm going to have to, go work for these people. See, and that was what I was afraid of. I was even willing to leave North America just so I wouldn't have to face that. And then the reality sinks into you, gee, what to do? Thankfully, what we're working on now will avoid that, because brothers and sisters, no one's going to come to our rescue, and we can certainly do it. And all of it is going to involve indoctrination, embracing race first, believing in one God, one aim, one destiny. So having said that, all of you in UNIA, Rock Media Land, and Community Focus, all of you who are going to miss us while we're in Kenya, but don't worry, we'll be, because now we're internet, we'll be able to come on and share with you some of our scenes, our videos. So we're working on that to be able to, I've been purchasing materials. So we're going to see what we can do to share those with our listeners. President General, what we'll probably end up doing is we will do our broadcast, our time, and then send it to President, and then he'll show it at 8:00, because by then it'll be like 3 a.m.
Of course.
I don't know so all of this we've already discussed, so we're probably going to put that into play. Okay. All of you, please raise your beautiful black right fists and repeat after me. Africa.
Africa.
For the Africans.
For the Africans.
Those at home.
Those at home.
And those abroad.
And those abroad.
One God.
One God.
One aim.
One aim.
One destiny.
One destiny.
Long live Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Long live Carlos Cook. Long live the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Long live the UNIA. Long live Africa. And long live your President General, the Honorable Michael R. Duncan. See you in Africa, President General. Have a good night.
Good night.
Show is brought to you by Jamaica Breeze.